Welcome to a web tutorial that will walk you through one of our new apps on the iPads, at least at South Campus. Right now, these are some of these apps that are on this page will be on both North and South Campus iPads, but this one in particular is just on the South iPads for right now. It's called Puppet Pals. There actually may still be two versions on some of the iPads because I haven't gotten around to updating both of them so that the free app comes off. The free app has sort of a silver circle around it, which you can kind of see here. The free app is the silver one. The paid one has a sort of gold ring around it. And actually, let me go back here and start over so you can kind of see what this app does. And it's kind of just a cool little way for students to animate little characters and pair it with their voice, which on the surface just, seems like it would just kind of be a fun thing for them to play around with, to tell stories and things like that. But there are actually some great ways that you can obtain information about students' understanding about a concept. So the first time that the app opens up, it should open up with the tutorial. And it looks something like this. Shakespeare's kind of going through it. And it goes through choosing a location, actors, mixing and matching heads, talks about how to get their mouths to move, how to pose them, move them, etc. So we're going to go through that. The nice thing about this app, the paid version, is that students can actually use their own head, which is fun. And so they take a picture of themselves using the camera, they trace around it, and it allows them to then, as their character's talking, it's actually their own self. So that kind of personalizes it and makes it a little bit more engaging for them. Controls are up at the top: save, play, record, and pause. And so we'll go ahead and get started. So one thing I recommend doing is, if you do use this app, of course there are ways to send it out, and once it's saved, to push it out to via email and things like that. But just to keep track of videos, it might be easier for students to have a dedicated iPad, at least for this app, just so you know that, if iPad 1 is assigned to Johnny and Joey, that all of their movies are going to be on iPad 1, so you don't have to go sort of searching for who had which movie on which iPad. This is definitely a great app for collaboration. This is one where I would actually recommend that there are two students or even three sharing the iPad at the same time. In a lot of cases, actually, with the iPad, it's great to be able to have more than one kid on the iPad. I know that there's certainly some teachable moments in how to share, how to equal time, how to take care of the iPad when you're working together as a team. But that's really great, valuable skills that they should be working on anyway. That's something that they're working on in the technology lab as well. So I'm going to go to play and pick a location. And you can really pick any location that you want. It doesn't really matter. For our purposes, I guess I'll do this little street scene here. And so the world is the scenes. I'm going to skip the little fire truck icon for a minute, because that is the sort of transportation icon. We don't need transport vehicles just yet. The picture of the tall, full-bodied person is the different characters. And kind of the cool thing about these is that they do have some notable figures. So that, there's Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Ben Franklin, King Tut, Cleopatra, Teddy Roosevelt, Lincoln. If you scroll down here, there's Santa Claus, there's What was that? Maybe Queen Elizabeth. Looks like Mark Twain and um, Einstein. So all kinds of different characters on here. So there's factual ones and fun ones. And so what I'm going to do is choose, we'll do Einstein. And as you click on him and move him down, you'll notice that he gets closer and closer to the front of the screen, I guess. If you click and move him back, he gets smaller. And you'll notice as I move him across the screen, he walks, which is kind of fun. When he's not walking, you can pose him by dragging on his little hands and feet. So you'll notice that all my options up at the top have gone away. I'm just going to click on the little upside down pyramid, or the little bunny nose, as we like to call it. And my characters come back up. So a fun thing about doing this sort of this app is with more than one kiddo is that there are a whole bunch of different things you can do with it in terms of students working together to provide you evidence of learning. So I'm going to choose a different character here. We'll do Abe Lincoln here. And bring him a little closer, maybe not that close. Just kind of have to play around with getting him in the right position. So because there are so many notable figures, this would be a great project for things like biographies or famous Americans or etc. Each student could have one that they had researched, and then they could carry on a conversation here together, the two characters, about what makes them important or famous. Another thing that the kindergartners are enjoying doing is using the characters to retell a story that they've either read or listened to on Discovery Education. So I can give you a quick example of that. So what I'm going to do is click on my little bunny nose again. So in order to start capturing their voices, I'm going to click on the red record button. And I'm not really worried about plugging in the headphones right now. The on the bottom tells me it's capturing my voice and the time. So if I've got two kiddos retelling the story here, the first kiddo is going to press on the first character. And when they press on it, you'll notice that as I press on him, his mouth moves. So I could say something like, in the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, there are three bears who live in the woods. And then I might have the next student switch over and press on. Oops, sorry, I have an email up there. You can just disregard that. You can you press on the second character. The three bears went for a walk. Goldilocks went into their house, and the first thing she did was try the porridge. She didn't like anybody's porridge except for Baby Bear's, and she ate it all. Now you notice that I'm pressing this guy. I can walk him across while he's talking, if I wanted to. Goldilocks sat in all the chairs. She didn't like anybody else's chair except for Baby Bear's. She sat in it and it broke. Goldilocks then got tired. She laid in everybody's bed, but she didn't like them until she laid in Baby Bear's. That one was perfect, and she fell asleep. The three bears came back home. Goldilocks woke up and was so scared she ran out of the house and was never seen from again. So now that I'm done recording, I could have paused really, I guess if I needed to in that recording by pressing the pause button. I've got the stop button here. So it's going to load it up. I can either listen to it or throw it out. It's going to ask me to add a title. And which I guess it didn't let me listen to. It's just let me see. But I can go back and listen to it later. Another thing you can do here, by the way, it does let you add music if you want different themes. I think my volume may be turned down on the iPad, so you may not be able to hear it, but there is music in the background if you so choose. We'll have to work on getting that on there. I'm going to click out of that. So again, you can remember you've got this head icon here. So you can randomize, you can drag these across. So the randomizing just picks two different, a head and a body. You can drag them across if you wanted to do something goofy, something like that. This camera icon here, I don't know how well this is going to work because it's kind of dark in the room I'm recording in. But you can take a photo. Yeah, it's not going to work super great. But if it was working, it would take my picture. I can use the photo, and then it asked me to trace the head. Oh, that didn't work very well. See, that's not going to be my best head ever. Draw the mouth. Approve. And then I've got my character here. It's charming. And presumably, where did it go? Oh, it's back here. No, there's two of me. So that's great. Let's see. And it's actually not, well, a little bit it's working as I talk. So kind of a fun program for demonstrating knowledge. Another thing you could have them do, let's walk back over here, is if it's just one kiddo working on the iPad, you could have them explain how they solved a problem. You could have them do fluency with a reading passage. You could have them actually write out a play with the different characters. It's a certainly more sophisticated version of using this app with storyboarding and things like that. You could also, if you have a kiddo who needs to work out, a particular behavior challenge that they had that day, and they don't want to write it on paper, or they're not unable to write it down on paper. This would be great for just having them get their thoughts and ideas out in a sort of a non-threatening way. So a whole bunch of different ideas with this. I'm going to go back to I think I'm going to go back to the main menu. Yep, push on the world, main. If I go to save here, it saves my show. This button down here allows me to share it. And let's see if it worked. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to go in and look at that because it should give me the ability to send it out. So I'll have to play around with that, but and hopefully give you at least a written explanation of how to share it out. I'm not sure why it's doing what it's doing. Actually, it may be, I wonder if it maybe is putting it in my photos here. Let me check one thing here. Photos and video. No, it's not. So we'll have to look into that. So in any case, that is Puppet Pals, and I'll get you that information on how to export it out.